the way Elgin got up out of there, let me tell you, Elgin was like, damn, it's always the pretty ones. It's the pretty women that be crazy. Elgin got out there like a bad, well, you know what? You hear that? It's time for me to go. Like, he got out Elgin got out of there so quick. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be recapping episode 5 of the series From, but I'm going to do it a little different today because normally, like, as I'm recapping, I wrap up one story because, you know, as you're watching, you have one story, one scene, then they cut to something else, then they cut back and wrap it up. And normally I'll wrap it up, jump to another story, but I'll just be jumping back and forth and cut in the same way they were because I literally just finished watching it. So I don't have my notes in order. Cause like I just take notes as I'm watching and then I kind of group my thoughts together to wrap up one story. But I'm starving and I'm ready to eat and I don't feel like doing all that. So we just finna go with it and we just finna recap it. Now, the episode starts off, y'all, what is the jerk guy from the bus name? I feel like nobody ever says his name, so I have no clue what his name is. But if they did say his name, child, I guess I missed it. But I feel like nobody ever says his name. What the hell is his name? So we got the jerk guy from the bus. We couldn't have him at Colony House because he wanted to beat the brakes off somebody. So he's now living in the bus. That is his residence. And we see him, it's nighttime, he trying to sleep, he can't sleep because of course the monsters are tapping on the windows, talking to him and stuff. And this guy get on my nerves so much because he just be aggressive for no reason. He be mad for no reason. He walks around like he got a chip on his shoulder, but whatever the hell. So he talking to the monsters, he upset, he talking about, this supposed to be scary, am I supposed to be scared? You can't come in here because it's a rock in the window, and he just going off. He a jerk, but he is also halfway in denial as well about the state of his current situation, just like Donna was kind of saying last episode when she was talking to him, saying he ain't the brightest bulb, and even after what he's seen, he still can't, accept the fact that this is real. So he end up, now remember, he got the rock protector hanging up in the window and you can't let it drop. He banging and hitting on the windows and jumping around. I was thinking that boy was finna fall. We have not really had any monster action this season. Like, it is scarce, it is few and far between. So I would have been very happy, also because I don't really like the character, if that damn rock would have fell and they would have gotten there and tore his ass up. But that didn't happen. But he doesn't make any sense because, of course, the monsters is bothering him. They can't get to him, so they just move on. But then, so he mad the monsters there, but then he mad the monsters walking away. Talking about, don't you walk away from me. Like, what? Y'all, am I tripping? That don't even make no sense. You mad the monsters are here knocking on the windows. Then when they go to leave, you mad they're walking away and leave. What you want the monsters to do? Like, it just did not make any sense. Oh, and also, there was a moment when he fussing at the monsters, he go to like start to motion to grab to open the door. What are you doing exactly? Of course he stops himself, but he one of them people, can we just kill him off? Can we please just kill him off? But you know what? I still got other characters that need to get killed off, so we can hold off on him. Go on and kill Jim and Tabitha. But I know that ain't gonna happen because they like the main characters. But so can we at least kill this guy? Now let's see what happened next. Oh, Jade. So we got Jade. At first I thought Jade was still living at the house with everybody, but we see Jade, and at the time we first see him, he laying in bed sleeping. I'm thinking he in the house with Kenny mom and everybody. So he ends up seeing things. He sees some guy standing there holding a piece of paper with those symbols he keeps seeing. Y'all, was that the Christopher guy he saw? I don't know. I couldn't tell if that's the guy from the picture. Y'all, was that Christopher? But he started screaming, and I'm like, screaming like that? Everybody in the house should have woke up. But then we see him in another scene. I realize Jade is now taking up residence. He's staying at Tom's old spot, which is the bar. Now, he ain't the new bartender, but he just taking up residence in the bar. So that's that whole thing. So now, we end up seeing Boyd at the church. There's a knock on the door. It's Tim and Tabitha. Did I say Tim? It's Jim and Tabitha. And when I saw this scene, I was just like, yeah, the fabric of this place is unraveling. They going, like, it's just, I don't know, it's going down real fast. But Jim and Tabitha banging on the door, and Boyd tells Sarah to, go back downstairs to the basement, stay out of sight. Boyd opens the door, and Jim and Tabitha come rushing in. Where is she? Where is she? And y'all, is it just me? The actress playing Tabitha is terrible. Normally, like, she's not the greatest actress, but normally it's pretty tolerable. But was it just me, or was she exceptionally bad in this scene? Everything she was saying sounded so forced and so fake, and I just wasn't buying it. It was just weird. She was all like, where is she? And Boyd is like, calm down, you don't understand. And of course, then Tabitha says, oh, what, that she's special, that Kenny told them everything. And I'm sitting here like, damn, Kenny Show could not wait to go run his mouth. He could not wait to go run tell that. Like, damn, Kenny, just running telling everybody. But her acting just felt really bad for me. Sarah pops up, and Tabitha goes over to her, and she's like, if you come near my family again, I'll kill you. Y'all, I was literally cringing. Like, the actress was so bad. And Sarah's just like, okay. I mean, what the hell else can you say? Like, you did something, they mad. Sarah just like, okay. So Boyd tries to say something to Jim, and Jim talking about don't even. And I'm saying, like, Jim, you got some motherfucking nerve. Don't even. Like, if y'all, Boy better than me. Because I would have said, if y'all get your ass out of here, like, I don't even care. Like, get the fuck out of here. They just annoyed me so much. And this scene for me was just so bad. So, child, they leave. And Boyd tells Sarah, he finna leave, he'll be back, for her to stay out of sight or whatever. And Sarah ends up telling Boyd she can't handle this. And you know what? From the beginning, Sarah has always been pretty, I want to say, weak-minded, fragile. I don't think there's much pressure she can take. Because even with going after the Matthews kid and all the stuff she did, they did the voices and stuff and supernatural things. They didn't just say, hey, kill the kid, and she just did it. They was kind of wearing her down. Remember, like, the little burn that popped up on her arm when she was at the diner? Like, they were kind of, wearing her down. So she just kind of weak to me. But Boyd tells her, I can't do nothing about that. That's something you got to handle. And she already resigned to accept going in the box. I kind of feel like she might do something to herself. I don't know, put herself in the box or take her own self out. I don't know. But Boyd ends up leaving Sarah there. And then what happened? Oh, I don't know if I said what Sarah said right, but it's in my notes. She said, Boyd, I shouldn't be here. I'm not strong enough for this. That's what she said. But we end up seeing Tabitha and Jim back at the house, and Ethan is in the room, won't come out. Julie trying to get him out. He's scared, and then he says he want to go see Sarah. And then we end up seeing, they cut to Christy and her fiance, like, eating food, giving old girl a shirt, whatever the hell. I could care less about Christy and her fiance. But this was also odd, their interaction from last episode to this episode. It's like, okay, so is Christy's fiance just not mad at her no more? Because remember, she had an attitude, she was being weird, she was being odd, and now everything all good? Like, yeah, Christy came back crying after they had to kill, what's her name, Kelly? But this is just a whole switch in attitude, but whatever. Whatever. Now we end up seeing Sarah out in the town. She ain't staying hidden like she supposed to. She goes to her old house, and it was a guy and girl there, presumably from the bus, who was irking my nerves. And the guy was actually being, kind of decent. But the girl he was with, oh my God, she was pissing me off. So Sarah sees a jacket, she picks it up, and the guy's like, hey, that's my jacket. But Sarah says, no, that's my brother's. And when the other lady comes, the guy is like, hey, it's that girl who killed her brother. That's not his jacket no more. It's mine. You need to get out of here. And Sarah want to get their stuff. And like I said, the guy being pretty decent. Like, you killed somebody, I don't really want you in here. But he ain't just being a jerk. He's like, look, it was creepy having y'all stuff in here. We gave it to Kenny's mom. So the other lady, though, is like, get the F out, snatch the jacket from Sarah. Like, lady, what is you doing? Like, either you scared of her because she killed somebody, or like, what are you doing? Because if you scared because she killed somebody, why you cursing her out and snatching a jacket out of her hand? I don't know. This scene also irked me. I just felt like the attitude the lady had was just way too over the top for me. Like, why you got such an attitude? Why you being so aggressive? It was just a little too much. Now, I don't know what story they spinning as far as Sarah killing her brother, because obviously the audience knows it was an accident. She did not mean to kill him. That was not her intent. Her intent was to kill the kid, not her brother. So I don't know. That just didn't like that scene. Now we end up seeing Victor going to Jade at the bar and telling him, if you do something for me, I'll tell you what I can. Of course, Jade initially has an attitude. He's like, F you. But then he's like, okay, deal, I'll do it. So the whole deal is that Victor wants Jade to play something on the violin, and then he'll tell him everything he can about Christopher, the guy from the photo that was seeing that symbol everywhere and drawing it everywhere, the same symbol that Jade is seeing. Now, he doesn't want to play it here at the bar. They walk off somewhere, and this is when Victor mentions again, which he mentioned to Ethan in season 1, he mentions again to Jade here that the trees are changing. Because remember, he was out there measuring the trees, saying they was like getting closer to the town. Whatever the hell happened to that storyline, who knows? So Victor ends up taking Jade to this like graveyard of cars, and he goes to the car that was his mom's, and he sits on the hood of the car, and he's asking Jade to play the song Twinkle Twinkle Little Star that his mom would play it for him. And whenever he would get scared, because remember, before Boyd finds those talismans, pretty much all we could do at night was hide and hope the monsters didn't get us. So as a kid, when Victor would be hiding with his mom and he would hear people screaming and he would be scared, which Jesus, like, traumatic, you're a freaking kid, his mom would tell him to think of the twinkling stars and he wouldn't be scared anymore. And we actually got a really just beautiful scene of Jade, for the first time, not being obnoxious, because he was playing and not running his mouth. So it's like the one time he wasn't being obnoxious. He's playing the violin, and Victor is sitting on the hood of the car, or roof of the car. I think the hood is considered where the engine is. He's sitting on the roof of the car, and he got his eyes closed, and he dropping one little thug tip for his mama. This was a really sweet scene, and my heart hurts and aches for Victor, because I feel like, number one, Victor is older, but I feel like he is mentally still like a child. Everybody dies and he's alone for we don't even know how long. And he didn't get the socialization and all those different milestones you get as a kid. Like, I feel like he's still kind of stunted. Even when he apologizes to Jade, it feels very juvenile. The way he interacts with people feels very juvenile. And not juvenile in like a bad way or immature way, just juvenile. So after Jade plays, Victor ends up, the deal was, I'll tell you about Christopher. But he ends up just saying his name was Christopher. This was his car over here. And He's still reluctant to say anything, but he tells Jade that when Christopher first came to town, he was very nice. He would make people laugh, which was hard to do here. And everyone liked him. And then all of a sudden, he changed. And again, Victor is reluctant. He doesn't want to answer any questions or talk about this. And I still love the character of Victor, but he's starting to get on my last goddamn nerve. Like, talk, bruh. Talk. Like, it's really irking me. You have been here the longest. But y'all already know I'm frustrated with this show, so I'm halfway annoyed he not talking, but then I'm halfway like don't even care because it ain't gonna mean nothing. It's kind of like you would think we need Victor's info, but it ain't going nowhere or doing nothing. In season 1, and I'm gonna keep jumping to season 1 because there's a whole lot of stuff from season 1 that we still ain't got an answer to. When Victor is first talking to Ethan, he tells him that 2 cars have not come on the same day in ages, in years. The last time it happened, Victor was a child and then bad things happened. I thought that was supposed to mean something, but the 2 cars came some months ago and that went nowhere. But anyway, Jade is going back and forth with Victor, trying to get him to talk. Victor is like, you shouldn't be asking these questions. And Jade ends up saying, like, I know this is scary. I know you don't want to talk about this stuff. It's traumatic, but I'm at my wit's end. I haven't had a good night's sleep since I got here. I'm at the end of my rope. If you can just please give me something. And that's when Victor tells us that everyone died. That Christopher started seeing those symbols and it changed everything. It changed Christopher. He was no longer that same person. He was no longer smiling or making people laugh. And then all of a sudden one day, because obviously people can tell he has changed, Victor's mom gets an inkling. She gets a feeling about something because she tells Victor to hide in a new spot tonight. Like, don't hide somewhere Christopher knows about. Hide somewhere new. Which makes a lot of sense, but what doesn't make sense to me is why the mom didn't hide with her son. Like, why were we hiding in separate places? But then again, I don't really know the logistics of how that works for them before these talismans when it came to hiding. Maybe it was easier for people to just hide solo dolo. Maybe everyone, I don't know, but I don't understand why the mom wasn't with him. But anyway, Victor's mom tells him to hide somewhere different, hide somewhere that Christopher doesn't know about. And then the next morning when Victor wakes up, everybody dead. Victor doesn't really tell us, I woke up, Christopher did XYZ, this happened, Christopher killed people. What I'm going to presume from, my mama told me to hide somewhere Christopher don't know, I woke up, everybody was dead. I'm going to presume that Christopher led the monsters to where people were hiding. Maybe Christopher pulled an Abby and he physically killed everybody. That don't make as much sense to me as him leading the monsters to people, because if it's a group of people, if it's a town of people, because we know in the flashback that Victor had in season 1, it was like people dead. Like it's folks. It ain't just 1-2 people. So I would think if Christopher tried to kill somebody, other people would jump on him. Like you wouldn't be able, once you try to take out one person, everybody else will be fighting to live. So I don't know. I don't know the logistics of it, but Christopher did something, got everybody killed. And I'm wondering if maybe Abby saw the same symbol as Christopher, because remember, Abby kind of changed, not in the way that Christopher changed, but who she was changed. Because remember in season 1, Boyd was telling us how she was stronger than Boyd. Like she was in the military just like him. She was the one who shouldn't be cracking under pressure. Like herself, you know, who she was changed. So I don't know. But Victor ends up telling Jade there are bad things here and they make people do bad things. And he just says, I'm sorry. And he kind of walks away. So I kind of feel like, bruh, Jay still ain't got no answers. Now you got to just be scared. You going to go crazy like Christopher and kill everybody. But put a pin in what. You know what? Don't even put a pin. I'm just gonna say it, and then we'll just jump back to it. But the way that everybody treats Sarah this episode, it makes me think of Victor saying this place is bad. It makes people do bad things. I'm not understanding. I completely understand to an extent because Kenny go a little crazy, but I completely understand Kenny and his mom. Because she killed the person they loved. Jim and Tabitha, y'all son came out unscathed. Like he scraped his knee. Like he came out unscathed. But I don't understand why we can be upset, but why are we also not sympathetic to the fact that Sarah is a victim of this place just like everybody else? I'm not understanding why we jump to she's a psychopath instead of jumping to this place is bad. It makes people do bad things. Like it messed with Boyd's wife's mind and made her kill people. Like why don't we have some type of sympathy for her? And also, it takes you 2 seconds to look at the girl and interact with the girl. She's just like a poor little whimsy type of person. Like nothing about her is frightening or overbearing. I just don't understand why we jump, but whatever the hell, child. We'll get there. But anyway, Tabitha and Jim, they cut to Tabitha and Jim debating whether to let Ethan go see Sarah. And Ethan conversation with them in this scene, I feel like the actor of Ethan just has a charm to him. He's very endearing. And Tabitha and Jim could use some of that. They are unbearable. But anyway, Ethan goes to see Sarah. And Ethan tells Sarah that everybody thought you died, but you didn't. You lived in the woods. The only thing that lives in the woods are monsters. You're a monster. I thought we were friends, but we not friends. And he ends up telling her, you're a monster, but I'm not scared of you. And I felt so sorry for poor little Sarah. She was just like, okay. Like Sarah can't say the only thing she say to these people is okay. Anybody go off of because what else can you say? And I feel like I like Sarah more than Tabitha and Jim. Like yes, Sarah was their own child. I'm not excusing what she did, but I like her more than Tabitha and Jim. Because you know what Sarah ain't doing that a lot of people do? Y'all ever have a situation where somebody does something to you, hurt you, violate you, whatever, and you get mad, and then they get mad because you mad. Like, hold on. When you do something to somebody and they get upset, okay. Like, I feel like Sarah just taking responsibility. She just letting these people say whatever they got to say. She just like, okay. Sarah handling this very well, if you ask me. Like, she ain't got an attitude. She ain't making excuses. She not saying, well, I thought we could get out of here. Well, I thought I was doing it right. She not saying no. She just saying, okay. Now, they end up getting back home, to Kenny mom's house where everybody's staying, and we go through that whole thing, and Tabitha asks how he did. And then the writers put attention on that stupid little puzzle. Whatever. They put attention to it, so I'll just mention they did, but I don't really care enough. So Boyd goes to talk to Donna, and because when he was at the church, that's what he told Sarah, that he was going to go talk to Donna before it got to her, which, child, everything already spreading. Kenny done ran his damn mouth. Kenny running his mouth like the tabloids, child. Donna ends up telling Boyd, you told people you were going to come back with answers, but instead you came back with a psychopath. Again, it's irking me. Why are we jumping to this girl is a psychopath? You got a piece of dog hair on me. Okay, so when I tell you I'm so sick of dog hair, I can't even live. But anyway, okay, I lost my train of thought. You left, told people you was going to bring back answers. You came back with a psychopath. And it's irking my nerves that we are just jumping to this girl is a psychopath. But whatever the hell. Now, Boyd ends up telling Donna that when they were out in the forest, she knew things she couldn't possibly know. But Donna kind of is just dismissive. She don't really care because she's like, okay, and we still here. Do you see a yellow brick road leading us home? Now, Donna goes on to say and add to why I feel like this place going to hell in a handbasket fast. Because if we ain't got Boyd, everything crumbles, in my opinion. But she ends up telling Boyd that all you did was betray the one thing that this place still has going for it, and that's faith in you. Now, she ends up telling Boyd, this isn't even about Sarah. It's not about going home. This is about Abby. You shot your wife. And I think that every day you wake up feeling like you should have done more, could have done more. You should have helped her. You could have fixed her. And Donna ends up saying, Abby is dead. Sarah is a killer. Which not a lot was spoken. Sarah is a killer. She may not have physically killed Kenny's dad and that lady that was with him and Jade's friend, but she facilitated it. She's a killer. She may have accidentally killed her brother, but she killed him and was very much gonna kill the kid. Now, we end up seeing Elgin go to the church. This the most we done got from Elgin. I feel like it was a lot of emphasis put on his character when we first see the bus and he gets sick and he's all like, turn around. But then that was it. But now we get to see a little of Elgin. He goes into the church, doesn't expect to see Sarah there. They end up having a conversation and actually like having a little connection. And Sarah ends up telling him about when her and her brother were kids that they would collect these cheap ceramic ornaments from the dollar store. They would paint them. She thought they were all gone until she discovered her brother held on to one. And presumably that's the only thing she cares about when it comes to going to the old house and trying to get their belongings. She wants this ornament that has sentimental value for her. Now, I thought this was weird. Elgin don't know nothing about Sarah, but why Tilly know everything going on in the whole damn town, even events before she got there, and Ethan in the dark? Ethan, where you been, bro? You at Colony House. It's a lot of people up there. You don't hear folks running their mouth? How Tilly know everything but Elgin in the dark? Whatever. But he don't know what's going on. But they end up, having a conversation where Sarah is like, she always thought it was nice. The whole thought that, if you are truly sorry, God will forgive you for, whatever you've done. And Elgin, who talked about going to church with his grandmother, even though he wasn't religious, he just went with his grandma. He always said he always felt like that whole forgiveness, no matter what you did, he thought it was wishful thinking. And he's like, wow, you got something you need to be forgiven for? Because look at her. She don't look like what you did, girl. Jaywalk, he looking like what you need to be forgiven for. And Sarah just flat out, I killed my brother. When I tell y'all the way Elgin got up out of there, let me tell you, Elgin was like, damn, it's always the pretty ones. It's the pretty women that be crazy. Elgin got out there like a bad. Well, you know what? You hear that? It's time for me to go. Like, he got out. Elgin got out of there so quick. That part was very amusing to me. Like, he dipped. Now, we end up seeing Sarah go to the diner to see Kenny's mom because, of course, she's looking for that ornament. Kenny's mom is the person that handles all of the supplies, and she was told by the couple that is now living at the house her and Kenny used to live at that they gave everything to Kenny's mom. So, she is here. And this scene was so sad. Kenny's mom is like, you took him from me, I took care of you, and you put this hate inside of me. I know why you're here. And she goes to grab a box of Sarah things and she hands her the box and she's like, never come here again. Y'all, child, she go into the kitchen. You just start hitting stuff, knocking stuff down. You can hear her in there crying. Y'all, they don't have to be mean to Sarah. Like, she tortured already. Like, this is so sad. Because it's not like she's just a cold-blooded, person. So, y'all, this next scene pissed me off so bad. When Sarah goes out of the diner, Kenny is walking over. And I'm saying, like, bro, you ain't got nothing better to do. Why is you here? Oh, yeah, he ain't deputy. He ain't got nothing to do. So Kenny runs over, snatches the box from Sarah, yelling at her, dumps all her stuff on the ground, talking about, don't you come near my mom again. I'll put you in a box. Do you understand me? And I'm just like, y'all threatening this polar freaking, y'all, she like a little gummy bear. Like, she just fragile. Now, this makes me not like Kenny. Like, it really does. And like I said, I get it 150 billion%. That was your dad. But there should be something of like, not kicking people when they're down. Like, I don't care. And I have had moments in real life where somebody do something and I'm real pissed off, but they already down bad. So, like, why pile on? Like, they over there catching their own hell. They catching their own karma. Just, you don't have to interact with them. You don't have to forgive them. You don't have to be nice to them, but you don't have to pile on them and go out of your way. Like, this just made me mad, the way Kenny was acting. And when he dumps all her stuff out, she goes to grab the ornament, and Kenny is just like, what's that? What's that? He snatched it out her hand. This means something to you. You want this? And he just breaks it. And everybody's standing around looking like, oh, great Kenny. Great leadership. He ain't deputy no more, so I guess that don't matter. But I'm just like, great Kenny. Great. So Elgin comes over and helps Sarah pick up her stuff. And it's just like, do you get it now, Elgin? Do you know the story now? But like I said, I'm empathetic and I get it. But you don't have to act that nasty, Kenny. Like, this was... And I even get saying stay away from my mama, don't talk to her, but throwing her stuff down, breaking the ornament, it's just all too much. Just because somebody else act ugly don't mean you're supposed to act ugly too, child. It's just, I don't know. I didn't like this. Now, we end up seeing, they cut to Christy and her fiance, child, and her fiance give her ugly haircut. And then we end up seeing what's that old lady name? Do I have it in my notes? What is that old lady name? Tilly. We end up seeing Tilly come into the clinic, and she gives some liquid morphine to Christy because she had a diagnosis, and Christy is just like, oh, okay. So, I don't know. I'm going to presume the fact that she was on the bus, she was dancing in the rain, I feel like maybe she was diagnosed with something terminal, like she going to die, and she was going off somewhere to have a last hurrah, and that's why she was like enjoying the rain. So she was diagnosed a month ago. That's what she tells us. Now Tilly ends up telling them about all the craziness going on with Sarah. And Christy runs out of the clinic. Her fiance runs after her because she blames herself, because remember when they spent the night in the clinic and they had a conversation. And also the fact that the scalpel used to kill the brother was taken from the clinic. But Christy ends up telling the fiance that she asked me, would I do anything to see you again, even if it was something. Okay, my camera died. Here we go. What did I stop at? Christy and her fiance. Christy ran out. The fiance tried to stop her, and Christy feels responsible. She feels like she gave Sarah permission that she would do something bad if it meant she can get her fiance back, and now her fiance is here. She feels like, and I wonder, maybe that did play a part. Maybe that's why this place gave her fiance. I don't know, child. Now, we end up seeing Tabitha, dumbass, taking that little puzzle rock Jenga game thing to the mouth of the cave where the monsters sleep that she ain't tell nobody about. And she puts it together and she's like, I'm here. And that's when all the little dead weird kids come out and they're like, a cooey, a cooey, a cooey. Y'all, what's that word mean? I don't know that. But they all start like coming towards her and she's just like, I'm not afraid. I guess she's trying to take a cue from Ethan because he was saying something about a speech earlier about how if you're not afraid of something, it don't have no power. Y'all, what was that speech? I can't remember. But anyway, all the little dead kids surround her, but they don't actually grab her or hurt her or anything like that. They just like putting their hands touching her, just surrounding her and touching her. And she's yelling and Jade ends up coming over and Tabitha is like, did you see that? And Jade is just like, see what? See who? So, okay. I got nothing for that. Like, whatever. So, Jay seeing things, Tabitha seeing things, and we just all just going on about our business. But whatever. Now, we end up seeing Jim going up to Boyd, and Boyd is just like, look, I don't feel like doing this right now. But Jim is like, I ain't here to argue. He's pretty much like, I don't agree with what you did, but I looked at that girl today and I didn't see a psychopath. I didn't see a vicious killer, which I don't know why they was thinking like that was the first thought everybody had, but whatever. He says he saw a broken kid. And when he was saying this, I was sitting there like, you know what? This is the most sense that Jim done made in 2 damn seasons. But then he goes back to just being Jim and being a dumbass. And he ends up being like, I see a lot of people around here on edge and about to hit their breaking point. And Boyd is just like, okay, like, what are you saying? So that's when Jim is like, oh, me and Donna heard a voice on the radio. And he thinks people are watching them and that this is some type of experiment. They've had psychological experiments or something like this going back to World War II. And we don't have to like each other, but we need to work together. Baby Boyd is like, I gotta go. Like after Jim said all that, the only thing Boyd said was, I gotta go. In the midst of this, though, I feel like I said that weird. Jim was irking me because the line about we don't have to like each other, but we got to work together. This is exactly what I was saying when it comes to Sarah. We don't need to care more about giving her a punishment than we care about getting out of here. Even with Donna saying, okay, well, are we home yet? Whatever little piece of the puzzle we need to get to the ultimate goal of getting home should be the only thing that matters. When we about to step through the threshold and go home, then y'all can throw Sarah in the box. When we get home, then y'all can do something to Sarah. Like the only thing we should care about is getting home. But hey, you know what? That's just me. Now, I was also thinking, even though y'all know I really don't even care enough to theorize, but the whole theory that Jim is on, it could make sense. That could be it. Now, I wouldn't say it's human people, though. I would say it's something supernatural doing all this. And it made me think of the movie Constantine when Keanu Reeves' character was like, God and the devil had a wager for souls. Like, I was like, maybe this is something like that. Like, it's good and evil doing some kind of experiment, but I don't even care enough to really theorize, child. Now, we end up seeing Christy's fiance sneaking some morphine, child. She an addict. Okay. But that is a danger, because if you sitting up in this mug high at night, that's a threat you can let the monsters in, because you're gonna be high out of your mind. Now, we end up seeing Jade still obsessing over the symbol. We see Ethan playing with the rock tower thing, which that ain't make sense to me. So Tabitha took the tower of rocks to the woods, to the opening of the cave, and then she just brought it back to the porch. I didn't understand that. She was freaked out. Them dead kids surrounded her, but she had the wherewithal to, instead of just running off, grab the puzzle. and put it back on the porch. Whatever. Ethan playing with the puzzle rocks on the porch, and Sarah walks by and she gives him like a little smile, but he just scowls at her and she just scurries on. But I felt like the smile she gave him was one of those, you know how you just walking around like you at the store or something and you catch eyes with somebody and you just do like a little nice little smile and just keep going. That's what it felt like she was doing. But no, girl, he's scowling at you like they don't like you, Sarah. They hate you, girl. He said you a monster. Now we end up seeing Boyd going to the diner and seeing Kenny's mom and saying, I was hoping we could talk. And we also have the stupid boy from the bus. He done pulled a chair up on the roof of the bus and he carving something. Is he carving some wood or carving a rock? I don't know. Can you carve a rock? I don't know. Maybe he's trying to make a weapon or something. I don't know what he's doing. Whatever, child. Now, the new characters are just, I don't know. Everyone is kind of blah. No episode, I mean, take out the fact that I'm annoyed we don't have no answers. Take that out of the equation. No episode this season has been like a good, enjoyable episode to sit through. Like, I'm just sitting watching like, okay, whatever, child. Like, I'm, whatever. Like, nothing has been very good. I still only like Victor, Donna, and Boyd. But we ain't really getting no monsters. We're not really getting any horror. We're not, like, nothing entertaining has happened for me personally. Now, what's my last little notes? Because I think that's what the episode ended, was Boyd going to the diner to talk to old girl. But we don't have any intriguing characters. We don't have any intriguing events for me personally. I haven't had a good episode this whole season. 5 episodes in and I'm just bored, really. I don't care about the relationship drama. Y'all already know I could really care less about Tabitha and Jim and their whole family. The only person I really care about is Ethan, but he's not really giving me as much as he was giving me in season 1, when he was all about being on a quest and trying to go with Victor and figure stuff out. But y'all already know this is not going anywhere, but I'm just here recapping for you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, for supporting the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.